Great to see you here again in this new session about principles of stakeholders and communication management. Now we're going to start with the part of communication management, and I start with defining communications. What are communications? What is communications about? But before we continue, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, click on the bell button, and every time we have a new video, YouTube will inform you about it. So let's have a look what is communication. Communication is when we exchange messages between people. We use words, we have a spoken message or a written message. We can use sounds, we can use symbols, we have signs, we use body language, we look at pitch of the voice, we look at the facial expressions. All these elements are about communication. It's just not only about writing a message, it's about all these other things together. Now, when we look at communication, we can define 5 communication types. We'll look at verbal communication, words, non-verbal, signs. We can write, we can have visual communication, and we can consider listening. We listen to what the people are saying. Now, we have different ways to share communication. We can share the messages between people using emails. We can use instant messages. We can use meetings, voice and video calls. Here we have videos, video messages. And we can also have what they call request tickets. So there is a process to request some work to be done, some information to be shared, and so on. Now, communications are important, and it's not only important in project management, but when we look at everyday life, science, business, education, and wherever we want to share information between one or many people. Communication between people is the most effective when the people are together in the same room or space. We can use all the elements of communication, verbal and non-verbal. We can sometimes feel the energy, the positivity of the people, all kinds of elements. We can see and observe the entire way, the complete way those people are dealing with the communication, with the messages that you are sharing. So a face-to-face communication always provides the better ways to deal with it. When we reduce the possible interactions, like having a telephone call or a message, a written message, it reduces the efficiency and the effectivity of the communication. Now, when we look at communication, we also have to look at the effect of the tools that we are using. Like I said, like we have the face-to-face or same space communication, where you have all the possible elements that you can use. Now, when you write a letter or an email, we only have the words. We cannot see or hear the person, but the person can also not see or hear us. And we cannot adjust our wording to take into account our observations. On the phone, we cannot observe the body language, but we can interpret the voice. We can hear how the voice is going. We understand all these elements. Video messages provide more elements because we can see each other. We have a better understanding of the context of the message, but it's also some elements are missing. The voice may be unclear. It's not perfect. The best way to communicate is sit in front of the person you're communicating with. When we look at use of words, speech, and body language, now words are just words if they are written on paper. You don't have the shared verbal and non-verbal parts of the communication. When we communicate with a person, we can hear the voice, and we also can interpret the pitch to increase our understanding. When certain changes in the voice happen, you can understand what emotions that person is sharing with the people around. It's always important to understand or talk with a person in their mother tongue, it's always a little bit different than when you're using a different language. Body language is very important. I've seen people in meetings when somebody was speaking that the person on the other side closed the arms, so basically closing out the person. And I saw the person who was sharing the message, he really felt that he was pushed out of the conversation, out of the communication. Like I said in some videos before, observation of the other people, of the people who are taking part in the meetings, it's very important because you can find the message, the real message behind the words. The worst thing that you can do is that nobody is observing, everybody is listening to the speaker. I always tell the people who are going with me to a meeting to observe the other people and to evaluate, to write down when they saw some specific reactions to things that I said. So we can fill out or we can address these items in a more efficient way. Communication is very important, and for a project manager, it is about 95% of the time that the project manager is communicating. Communication skills are very important. So that was it about these new elements about communication, how we deal with communication, very important elements about the interpretation of the message. But that's all for this video. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button, click on the bell button, and every time we have a new video, YouTube will inform you about it. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.